I wasn't going to make any content today at work, and on the drive to work, I couldn't stop thinking about that article in the New York Times about Dr. Haver, who is the pause life. Okay, so what you guys may not understand if you are not a practitioner or a researcher in the women's health menopause community. Now, this is like a sub community, okay? The Menopause Society, which is the only thing in the US that actually talks about menopause, no joke. I am a physical therapist, and even my APTA has a section on women's health, which later got named, the Academy of Pelvic Health, and we're just talking about menopause. And I would like to think that we're pretty awesome with women's health, and not even us do we have a menopause section. So the Menopause Society is like the thing, but it's historically exceptionally conservative. And I want to talk to you about why this piece is very frustrating to practitioners who work with patients going through the menopause transition. The Menopause Society is small, and it doesn't fund like massive amounts of research because people don't realize how much money it takes to do a research study, okay? So the reason the Menopause Society is so conservative in general is because they're going based on evidence. And because of that statement, there's evidence-based and evidence-informed, okay? So Dr. Mary Claire Haver is going off of evidence-informed, okay? She is not doing only evidence-based, because if she did that, we wouldn't get the care we need in our lifetime. If we were to be advocates for ourselves and lobby for grants, just like Joe Biden did the women's health kind of call for research, the White House initiative, did you see that? The Menopause Society isn't big enough to advocate for us. Every single woman will go through the menopause transition, and they are only going off the research that they have. I am a physical therapist who does research on women's health and on things that they can control that are non-pharmacological. I talk about estrogen because of an educator perspective in terms of physiology. I want you to know that estrogen isn't the devil you think it is. However, I don't think any of us believe estrogen pharmaceutical wise is the only answer. We're just trying to get estrogen's name out of the mud and give you options, okay? Options. So Dr. Haver, who felt passionately about this, and thank God she had the funds to do what she does. And so if she were to make a profit, who the F cares? The Menopause Society is giving information based on research, and their articles are awesome, and they will talk to you about non-hormonal based therapies for the treatment of vasomotor symptoms. Okay, they oftentimes talk about vasomotor symptoms, and the reason we talk about vasomotor symptoms with menopause is that it's like guaranteed the menopause transition. So it's kind of like a safe bet that that's a treatment for the menopause transition, or helping you through the way. I shouldn't even say a treatment. There are over 100 symptoms of the menopause transition. I was really irritated at the non-hormonal interventions that were approved by the Menopause Society because they were still all drugs, and they didn't even approve yoga. You know why yoga isn't recommended? Because the research isn't good enough. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a research study on the symptoms of perimenopause and in yoga. And I am going to ask for grants so I could get Aura rings. I didn't get any grants. I applied for multiple grants. I got 0 grants, okay? So I'm going to have to do a study with no grants. I had to modify to use Apple Watches, no funding, okay? This is the state of women's health research, and it makes me enraged. So then there's Dr. Haver fighting to get information out to women, me trying to do research, the Menopause doing a documentary on PBS, and then the New York Times, like, it was kind of underhanded, but I don't know that they got that gist. We love the Menopause Society, but I wish the Menopause Society would have some different articles that were a little more gray and talk about evidence-based, evidence-informed, and then talk about trends. Where should we go from here? Because we have women suffering. And if we wait for the research studies to come out to show that estrogen does all these things, so what if we had more funding for research? And what if we fast-tracked it, just like we did with COVID? And what if we actually put women's health on the forefront and actually cared? I looked at the author of the article, and Danielle looks like a delightful human. She's 43. I'm 44, almost 45. She has a bias much like mine, where we're movement-based and exercise. And I don't think she has entered the menopause transition based on what she has stated. And I would love Danielle. And she did a lovely job writing it. I think she is a good author, and I like her book. I would love her to revisit this in 5 years and see what she thinks and see if it's changed, because I will tell you, I think beliefs change based on where you are in life. And when you're in the trenches taking care of women with the menopause transition, your beliefs change. It is interesting if you only look at the research, but when you're treating these people and they're losing their minds and they're crying and they're sick of the belly fat and they don't feel like them, they feel like they're invisible in public, they don't know what to do, they have no tools. So yeah, Dr. Haver made a belly fat challenge. She has supplements. She wrote a book. She's out there fighting the good fight. And if that woman makes a profit off of menopause, I don't care. And I'm happy for her. Thank goodness she had the capital to start all that, because I don't, but I'm glad she does. And I'm thankful for her. So the Menopause Society can do better. And I saw that article that they were referencing in the New York Times, and I made a pissed post about it, and I never posted it. I think I actually deleted it because I don't like to make angry posts. I don't like to come from that place. But today, driving to work, I was like Rage Against the Machine, because I was like, always. This always happens to women.